Hello everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video has been rolling around in my brain for the better part of a year. I don't know why it's taken me so long to film it, but today we're going to be talking about travel information and products you find on the internet that are misleading you. They are separating you from your time. They are separating you from your money. And the worst part is they're making you fearful unnecessarily. And let's dive right in. You know, I log on to YouTube just like everybody else, and I will see video after video after video doing some version of these things I'm going to talk about today. And it's just false, misleading, clickbaity information, and we're going to talk about it. So the number one thing I see is fear-mongering about traveling in Europe, and particularly about pickpockets in Europe. Now, I don't know why this became a thing that every influencer felt like they needed to make a video about. Pickpockets have been around since forever. Like, you can find references to this going all the way back to predating the Bible, okay? For a long time. So being smart about your belongings is not a new concept. Generally speaking, when someone's being really fear-mongering about pickpockets, they're doing one of two things. They're either trying to get you to click on their video, so it's very clickbaity, and it'll be something like, the the really dramatic clickbait face, or they're trying to sell you a product. It is a special blocking pickpocket proof product that they swear by. And here's what I have to say about that. Yes, you can get pickpocketed in Europe, but you probably already own everything you need to be smart about it. You probably already know everything you need to be smart about. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when I do my video about what I'm packing for Europe. Yeah, there are a few bags that are better than others. You don't want to have like just an open tote. You want to make sure you have your bag like in front of you. You don't want to have your wallet in your back pocket. Like some pretty basic common sense things. Pickpockets are looking for easy targets. It is not violent crime. It's happening so quickly. You can be smart about it. And again, I'll talk about this more in an upcoming video about like how you store your stuff so that if you should get some cash or a credit card stolen, it's really easy to fix. You can carry your cell phone in a way that it's not likely to get stolen. There's things you can put on your cell phone. So like take some general precautions. But y'all, please stop being terrified to travel. The truth is, if you look at the most dangerous cities in the world, A, you're probably not going to them, or B, you might live in one if you live in the US. So by and large, travel is very safe. I've been traveling as a solo traveler. I travel with my husband. I travel with my kids. I travel with my girlfriends. I've been all over the world. And if you're so afraid of being pickpocketed that you're walking around like this all the time, ironically, you're actually making yourself a target. So don't fall for the fear-mongering. Take some common sense precautions. Might you get pickpocketed? Yeah, but it's not the end of the world. And if you've planned accordingly, you can easily navigate that. And yeah, you really don't let all of that fear-mongering keep you from your beautiful trip. Okay, the next thing is anything TSA approved. You'll see it all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. It's a cosmetic bag, it's a suitcase, it's a personal item bag, and guess what? It's TSA approved. The TSA has never and will never endorse a product. When a brand says that, it actually makes me run away. The only thing that a product will have and must have, if it's a suitcase or a bag that can be locked and you're going to travel with it, it needs to have a TSA approved lock so that they can use their special little tool and search your belongings if necessary. There is no such thing as a TSA approved toiletry bag. When they say that, all they mean, and sometimes they don't even mean that, is that it is 1 quart or less, so it falls within the guidelines. But they always make it seem like there's some, TSA HSN room where they're going through each product and going, the TSA approves this particular suitcase. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. It's just a gimmick to separate you from your hard-earned money. So a 1 quart Ziploc, by that measure, is TSA approved. Don't fall for it, and certainly don't spend extra money on something because the brand says that it is TSA approved. Huge pet peeve of mine. Along those same lines, anytime clothing is labeled as travel clothing. Now let's go back in the Wayback Machine, because there was a time when there were just a few brands that specialized in travel clothing. And I'm not going to name the particular brands here. Several of you probably know who I'm talking about. They made clothing, some of them were great with clothing for women that had like hidden zippers, things where like it was cargo pants where you could carry more things, maybe jackets with zippers on the inside, things that just made travel slightly safer and slightly more convenient. However, what I've seen in the last 5 years or so is any old brand will take some fast fashion two-piece, jogger and a sweatshirt. Sweats is what we used to call them when I was growing up, like you would wear in middle school gym class, slap the word travel on them, and they want to charge you $70 or $100 for a travel set. If they're clothes and you take them on a trip, poof, they're travel clothes. They're not special travel clothes if it's just a two-piece set. And sometimes I'll look at these travel sets that are very heavily marketed towards particularly women that are traveling, and they're not even good quality. They're not even made from like travel-friendly fabrics. Sometimes they don't even have pockets, which how are you going to sell a travel set to someone that doesn't have pockets? Make it make sense. So just know that just like how if you want to have a beach body, take your body and go to the beach. If you want to have a travel set, put on a two-piece set and wear it on an airplane and woohoo, it's a travel set. So it's one thing if it's like better quality and that's why you're paying more, but please don't pay more for something because a branding marketing campaign has told you that it's for travel. Clothes that you wear on a trip are travel clothes. Shoes that you wear on a trip are travel shoes, shoes that you're able to wear comfortably in the rain at home and comfortably in the rain when you're, on your trip to London. They're good London shoes. Like, don't let marketing make you think that a particular something is worth your hard-earned dollars and is going to make your trip better because it has the word travel in front of it. And I'll even call myself out here because I love merino wool, and I've talked about it a lot for travel. Several different brands that I love of merino wool. It is really good for travel. It's also really good for at home, especially like if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're super, super busy and you want to be able to look cute and you don't want, your shirt to smell like the Mexican restaurant, or, you want to not have to wash it every 5 minutes or whatever. Merino wool is a great fabric. It's also a great fabric for travel because it can be worn multiple times without being washed, but that doesn't make it travel clothes. That makes it clothing that is also good for travel. So I like to invest my money in pieces that I can wear when I travel, that I can also wear when I'm home, instead of feeling like I need to have some kind of special designation of wardrobe that's just for travel. It's not the truth. It's a marketing campaign. Don't fall for it. This next one, sometimes you'll be scrolling Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you like to go in your leisure time, and you will see one bag, one personal item bag, one suitcase, and it seems like every single influencer is showing off this one bag. Okay, here's why. It is not because this bag is the latest and greatest and everyone just found out about it and it really is the best bag they've ever found. It is because that particular brand is maybe new to the market and they have given a whole bunch of influencers a free bag and paid them a lot of money to talk about how much they love the bag. I think we know this intellectually, and I've fallen for it too. And yet when we keep seeing the bag come across, something in our psychology says, well, I trust all these influencers and they're all showing me this same bag, so it must be a great bag. And I just want to peel back the curtain a little bit and let you know that in the vast majority of cases, those influencers have never even used that bag and many times will never use that bag. So, it's kind of a red flag if you hear an influencer talk about a particular brand, and this is true for everything. But then if you watch vlogs from them, they're never showing those things that they've told you had to have. That's a real giveaway that those items are being gifted to them. They're promotional items. They're not actually using them. A great example of someone who does this well would be Samantha Brown, who she does a lot of pretty extemporaneous stories on Instagram. She has her own luggage line, but anytime you see Samantha Brown in any video, Instagram, in the wild or whatever, guess what she's always using? her own brand of luggage because she created it and she really stands behind it. But many times the influencers, I don't think they're lying. Like they're getting the suitcase and the suitcase is pretty and maybe it has good capacity or whatever. But before I told you guys about my away travel bag, it had already been on like 15 trips with me. So something that looks really good on an Instagram ad and the wheel falls off and there's no good customer service and you're stuck lugging a huge bag through the airport and it won't wheel, that's not a good look. So I would say, especially when it comes to luggage and personal item bags, make sure you're buying a brand that's been out for a long time, that there are a lot of unbiased reviews on the bag, that you've checked into their return policy, their customer service, all of those kinds of things that they check out. Don't just say, oh, well, lots of influencers are talking about it, so it must be a good brand. Because that's probably not the case. It's probably just that they had a really, really healthy budget. And sadly, especially with Instagram and TikTok, I'm finding that a lot of these brands, they show up and then 10 minutes later, they're just gone. They've just seemingly disappeared. And that's because it wasn't a great product. They spent a lot of money for influencers to tell you it was a great product. They collected all their cash and they're gone. So really, really buyer beware. In my view, a luggage purchase is a pretty big high ticket item. You want to research it. You want to get information from, several different sources before you make your decision. And don't necessarily assume that an influencer, and this is, hold me accountable to this too. Just because you feel like you have a connection to me because you watch my videos, just because I recommend something doesn't mean that it's right for you. So always do your homework, and a fool and his money are soon parted. So just be smart about all the influencer campaigns because it can be a lot. Okay, this last thing is super, super, super important. And that is anybody that talks about TSA information or airline information as though it is breaking news and they are the only ones that know this information, and you better watch this video. Generally speaking, these videos will have a very clickbaity thumbnail that'll be something like, like this, or, and it's, break this TSA rule and wind up in jail, or something along those lines. I want to just reassure you, whenever the TSA actually changes a guideline or a rule, you're going to know about it. It's going to be in the news. It's going to be at tsa.gov. You want to go to the official government websites to get your information. I'm not saying don't watch those videos. They can be fun. They can be entertaining. They might give you some information. They might give you some information about what you want to go and thoroughly research for yourself. But I know that some of you fall for these things because you'll show up in my comment section telling me what this influencer or that influencer told you about a change to an airline rule or a TSA rule or whatever. And it's just not the best place to get factual information. Please, please, please check the official website of your airline and check the official government websites. That is the only accurate place to find information. Not only because the influencer might get it wrong, like totally well-intentioned, but they might get the information wrong, but also because the information changes all the time. So you want to make sure that the information you're getting is the most up-to-date. I'm going to use a great example. I was watching a fabulous couple that I follow. They have moved to Italy. They do a lot of great videos about Italy. In fact, I'll link their channel up above and in the description box for you because I really have loved watching them. They made a comment about Euronet machines in Europe, that was the best place to get euros. And it started this argument in the comment section because one lady was like, no, get your euros before you leave home. That's always the best exchange rate. One guy was like, no, you want to get your euros from an actual bank ATM. And someone else had another opinion. What was interesting is everything they were saying was true at one point in time. There was a point in time where getting your euros before you left home was the smartest and least expensive choice. Now, banks charge ridiculous fees for you to do that. Ask me how I know, because I just tried to do it. They're ridiculous. It used to be that Euronet did not have great exchange rates, and you did want to go to an actual bank ATM. That's now outdated information. Euronet is a standardized situation. You're going to get the same exchange rate at the Euronet machine at the airport as you are in downtown Rome. So you can go ahead and use any Euronet machine. And in fact, it's very challenging to find an actual bank ATM now in Europe. So if you're someone that's looking everywhere for that particular ATM machine, you're going to be out of luck because you were listening to outdated information. Those people weren't trying to mislead anybody. It's just that they maybe haven't been to Europe in 2, 3, 5 years. This information changes all the time. You want to cross-check your information, just like when we were in school, right? You never just want to take one source. You want to double-check news outlets. You want to double-check the local information for that particular place where you're going. This can be super important when it comes to medication. There are certain medications that are not allowed in Japan, and I actually watched a video the other day where a YouTuber was giving wrong information about how you're supposed to prepare for this particular outlawed medication in Japan. Now, that's a mistake that really could wind you up in jail. So where should you get that information? From the Japanese government. They have a whole website. They will tell you exactly what the requirements are. So just make sure you're getting official government and airline information from the airlines and from the governments, and don't look to a YouTube video to be gospel about the latest and greatest changes in rules. It could be extremely misleading. It actually could really ruin your trip, and you really just don't want to do that. Those are just a few of my pet peeves as we are all engaging in the information age. There's more information than there's ever been, but there's also more bad information than there's ever been. So it is upon us as the consumers and as the one planning our trips to make sure we're going to the best sources, the most up-to-date sources, that we're not falling for marketing campaigns. We're being smart with our time, smart with our money, and I know that you're going to be fully prepared for your trip to Europe or wherever it is you might be traveling next. Whatever you're doing today, I hope you're finding joy, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.